Hello, my name is Randy Dobson, and I'm an instructor here in the Houston, Texas area. And this video will be covering the Autocad command Polygon, which, if you look on your screen, it actually shares the spot with rectangle. They do similar things, kind of like trim and extend and fillet and chamfer. So to make it work, they let them share here. Now, Polygon. One of the first things that asks you is how many sides do you want to have. Now, when you create a polygon, whatever sides you give it, those will be equal sides. So, if you did 3, then you would create an equilateral triangle. Okay. If you did 4, you would do a square, because a square, all 4 sides are equal. And then, of course, you go into pentagon, hexagon, decagon, octagon, all the different gons. And so they're based on a center, and that's why I drew this circle over here. But just to, again, just to let you know, if I did 10 sides, all 10 of these sides, let me just do something here real quick. Oops, it's not how I wanted it. I was hoping it would do it differently, but let me try it this way. Turn my O snaps on. As you can see, they're all the same size lines. Okay. And for some reason, my O snaps are not on. Here we go. Let me get rid of some of this other stuff. There we go. So, just to kind of give you history on a polygon, the more sides you do, obviously it'll look more and more like Epcot at Disney World, like a golf ball with all the dimples on it. If I did a polygon and gave it 100 sides, well, when you look at it like that, that looks like a circle. But if you zoom in more and more, you'll see that those are lines in there. And don't use this ever as a circle. I just want to give you that reference. So when you do a polygon, it's based on 2 things. It's looking for a radius, and it's looking to where you're doing it on a circle. Do you want to be inside the circle or outside the circle? Okay. Giving the same information creates 2 different, the same radius can create 2 different polygons. I'm going to go with polygon, and I'm going to give it, let's do 5 sides, and it's asking for a center. I'm going to use the center of this circle. Now it's asking me, do I want it to be inscribed, which is inside the circle, or do I want it to be circumscribed, which is around the circle? So I'm going to go with inscribed, and it wants a radius, and I know my radius is 5, so I'm going to give it 5. And there it is. As you can see, it's inside that circle. Now I'm going to do it again. Same thing, 5 sides right here. I'm going to pick the center of this circle again. On this side, I'm going to go circumscribed, and I'm going to still put in a 5-foot radius. Now, as you can see, it's going around the circle. Now, like I've mentioned in some of my other videos, which one you use. If I ask you in a classroom, I said, which one of these are you going to use when you do an assignment? Your answer should be whatever information I have. You may have something that gives you the dimensions that show this being, from here to here, which that would mean. Let me just do that real quick. See if it'll let me. Okay, if I've got this and I move this and say it's like that, then I know that if it's giving me this radius, I'm going to circumscribe it. But I also know that if it's giving me distances like this, if If it's giving me a distance like that, then I know it would be inscribed. So the nice thing is, if you do it wrong the one way, just undo it and go back and redo it the other way. But this is something that you can use on some of your assignments. I think one of them, you actually have an equilateral triangle like this. You just have to rotate it. Let me just do that. If you haven't watched the rotate video, watch that. I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees, and you can actually use this to create one of your assignments. But the polygon, again, will let you do this equilateral triangle, or let you create a square besides everything else. But just remember, all of these sides are equal. And they're all one item. I'm just going to hit move. If I move it out over here, okay. So nice tool. Instead of trying to draw a square by line, and so on, or doing 60, 60, and 60-degree angles, it's so much easier just to use a polygon. And that concludes my video on Polygon. Thank you.